morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Wake Up Charlotte to Go. Okay, so we have an interesting topic this morning. We want you to weigh in the comments below and let us know what you think. But according to this new YouGov survey, they polled over 20,000 Americans and they asked people, do opposites attract? About a third of people say you're more likely to end up with someone you have stuff in common with, while 30% say yes, opposites do attract. I want to know what you guys think. I feel like, for at least my husband and I, we're opposites in the fact that like he likes to be behind the scenes. He does not want me to film him for anything, and but we enjoy doing the same things. What do you guys think?
I definitely think opposites attract. I think you have to have something, you have to fall in love with the differences and then also fall in love with the similarities. But I think the differences kind of, make the relationship or give it a little razzle dazzle. Let me say that. But then you kind of like get used to things that they do not like to do or that you do not like to do, and then just find some sort of similarity in just knowing that. I think Maylin, one of our digital producers, she said on Twitter, she was like, you should have a relationship where one person likes a pickle but the other person hates pickles. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it's yin and yang type of deal. I think that's the way kind of Kim and I are, that you have, like what Sarah says, the differences. And oddly, Sarah's the same way, that Kim's visited me in the studio, but when those lights go on, she pretty much retreats to the shadows. So having that difference, it kind of like makes a complete balance. But at the same time, we love playing games, and we're the same person when it comes to the things that we love and how we handle situations. But Kim's more organized and I'm not. So she pretty much fills a lot of the voids that I don't have, which can make a relationship stronger, but I'm sure some frustrations in between. Sorry, Kim.
I like what Melissa says. Ooh, this is good. My husband and I are total opposite in several areas, but enough in common to make it fun, to make it work.
I love that.
I think that's it. And I think every relationship is totally different. There's no two are alike. And in a general sense, probably in reality, if you went out and you talked to all these different married couples, you find out that they would say, yeah, opposites do attract. And I just know from, myself and friends and family and, even grandparents, in every single case, it seemed to be the opposite attracted. You got to make it work. And that's the tough thing, is to make a relationship work long term. Mm-hmm. Whenever I talk about relationships, I say, come back and talk to me in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years. If you're still together after 20 years, then you're doing okay. But, if it's a new relationship and, everything is beautiful, everything is not beautiful. You got to work at it.
To make it beautiful.
The toughest thing any two people will ever do to make it work long term.
So, yeah, for sure, Larry. Paula writing, yes, my husband Bruce was very laid back. Me, I was very loud. We met and married 15 days later. We were married 25 years. He passed away in 2004.
Sorry,
but 25 years. That is amazing.
Yeah. It really is, yeah.
I like how Paula, she said loud and laid back.
Yeah, that's great. Paul, if you have any words of wisdom, we would love to have it. Here's another interesting thing about this survey that I do want to throw out there. They ask more than 19,000 people if love is a choice. And nearly 2/3, so 64% said yes. Only 17% of people polled said no.
And, I said yes. Yes.
It is a choice. I think it kind of goes back to, Larry, what you said. It's when you've been married that long, you are making a choice. You're making a commitment to love that person through thick and thin, no matter what,
Yeah.
And that's just it. That's marriage.
What a challenge. I mean, it's, and the thing is, it's a challenge, but if you look at it in a positive way, that you can work through challenges, and that can even make it better when you try to work through all those difficult situations and realize that no two people are alike. You're never going to totally agree, and it's compromise is important. And what I'm saying, I've got to go right back at me. I've got to remember that,
Yes.
If you're going to throw it out there, you got to live by that as well.
And
Hey,
I
Larry,
love
I'm
what,
loving the words of wisdom.
yeah, I
Thank
love
you.
what Melissa says as well, where she says falling in love is not a choice, but pretty much staying in love is, or continuing
Yes,
with
that's
it.
so good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
very
Ooh.
profound,
good.
Melissa, because it is true. Because there's sometimes that you see in a bunch of rom-coms, the two were spatting, and then they unlikely fell in love, and they didn't expect it. Pretty much most movie scripts. But no, that does happen. But no matter what, it is definitely a commitment. But I think the coolest thing when you have two opposites is that sometimes you might gravitate to other things. That somebody might be really active and the other one's a little bit more on the lazy side. And they're like, wow, I like this more active lifestyle. And then you're able to meet in the middle. Maybe somebody's active is like, wow, I kind of like lounging around a little bit more for a few more movie nights. That it can almost make that perfect compound of two elements.
Yeah, I remember telling you, Larry, I had a friend who was going through a divorce, and the person leaving had said, I didn't have butterflies anymore. And my grandmother, who was married like 67 years, was like, that's not the key to a lasting marriage. You're not going to have butterflies. Yeah, at the beginning, sure.
Yeah.
But after that, it is a roller coaster of a
Mhm.
ride and falling in love with the same person many times
Yeah.
because you're not always in love when you're married. Sometimes it is like at each other's throats. But again, it's a choice and you're working through that, right, Larry?
Without a doubt, without a doubt, and you can learn so much from people who have been married a long time. You know, you look at maybe grandparents, and you see that you look at those two. I remember mine in particular, who are long since gone, but looking to go, how in the world they've been married like 65, 70 years, and how do they do that? Because they're so opposite, but it's true. And you look at them. And normally, when you talk to those older people who've been married over 60 years like that, the guy always goes, well, I just listen to her and do what she tells me to do, and that's how it works.
Hey,
But
my grandparents were married over 50 years, and my grandpa used to say very quickly, a happy wife is a happy life.
Yes, I love that phrase. Happy wife, happy
absolutely,
life, baby.
yes.
Yeah, don't resist it. I know that I'm new to this game. It's absolutely true. And also, sometimes just saying you're right. It's tough at first, but it makes your life a lot easier.
When we covered Billy Graham's funeral, I remember just kind of looking stuff up, researching for that, and a reporter had asked Ruth Graham, "Would your husband's gone so much, he's traveling, speaking. Have you ever considered divorce?" And Ruth Graham had a great sense of humor, and she said, "Divorce, never." Murder, yes. And it made everybody laugh. And I just love
Yeah.
that so much because again, it is a choice, but she was admitting, marriage is hard work, and I love that story so much.
Cindy, I can't read your last name, but she wrote a paragraph about that long.
I
But
saw
thank
it.
you.
I couldn't read it
Yeah,
all.
yeah, and thank you for your
I'll
comments.
go back and read it.
Yeah, a lot of people are commenting on this. We have a lot to learn, and we can all learn from each other.
Yes.
Life is a challenge. Marriage is the biggest challenge you ever have, but you can make it work if you try hard.
Yep, that's right.
Love that.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Keep commenting below. If you got any marriage advice, hey, we'll take it. Have a great day, and we'll see you right here.